Hi guys, welcome back. We are at the bar again today, and today we are going to completely tone and sculpt the glutes and legs and even a little bit of core with this bar workout using the help of a booty band. So if you have that, as well as a chair for a little bit of balance, go ahead, grab those, roll out your mat. We're going to be at the bar as well as doing some mat-based exercises. Let's go. Welcome back, or if you're new around here, welcome for the very first time. My name is Sarah and I post a lot of Pilates and bar workouts here, some other stuff too, and right now for the foreseeable future, everything I post is going to be pregnancy friendly, and a lot of them will also be postpartum friendly as well. So that'll be, of course, marked in the title and description so you will know, obviously, before coming to this video. Before we get started with this bar workout today, couple of pieces of info. First of all, if you would like more content related to women's hormone health, just general wellness, pregnancy, conception, all of that, you can follow me over on Instagram at F2D Fitness. And also I will have linked down below the shop where you can purchase my 28-day workout program, the Hustle and Flow Guide. That is a cycle syncing workout program. So it is designed to work with a woman's 28-ish day hormone cycle. And especially if that cycle has been a little bit off for you, it's designed to balance it back out. We've got Luna here just off to the side playing with her ball. Hopefully she's gonna take it back down a level because we're going to get started here. I've also got Layla over here. It's cat chaos today. So we'll start here just with a little warm up. I want you to bring feet about hip distance apart here, toes just tracking forward. If you are pregnant here or there's just like a little bit more belly there, you can go a little bit wider. I'm just gonna toss that for Luna back there. Okay, you can go a little bit wider with the feet. And we're just gonna start with a basic squat here. So weight back in the heels, flat back, starting in 3, 2, 1. She doesn't know what I've done now. She's like, where'd it go? Luna, go that way. So yeah, as I was saying here, toes tracking forward, knees tracking over toes, tucking tailbone under, so core is engaged. I'm gonna turn to the side to show you. You're not doing just a great big hollow back. The other thing I often see people do in squats is too much weight forward. So really push the butt back on these. One more here, we're gonna stay down and we're just gonna pedal it out. So you're gonna do an alternating little heel lift, pulsing as we go. So nice little stretch for the ankles, warms up the calves, and we're still, of course, working legs and glutes. Keeping that flat back, still thinking about wrapping navel in. Couple more here. And then from there, go ahead, bring your right leg in. You're gonna extend it forward, draw a big circle all the way around, tuck back in. And ideally, you should be able to circle all the way to the back. I can just about with this wall behind me, but you want to complete the circle all the way before you tuck in. So watch that you're not tucking in from a diagonal there. You're tucking once it's all the way to the rear. One more on this side. Step forward a little bit and switch legs. Watch out, Luna. Oh my God. There we go. It's been a little bit of a struggle this morning because, sorry Luna, we still have the Christmas tree up. There's so much stuff in here right now that I've just had to move out of the way to even be able to film. And like what I'm looking at behind the camera right now is just pure chaos of stuff. Last one there. Bring the feet separate again here and we're just gonna pulse it out. So squeeze the butt super tight, like you're holding cash money in there or winning lottery ticket, whatever you want to be holding. And again, make sure you're pushing butt back so weight is in the heels rather than the toes or even the balls of the feet. I'll even lift my toes a little bit. I like to do that. Last one there. take the feet nice and wide here, toes turned out. We can do arms up overhead. You're just gonna press down, wide plie, and then all the way back up. So really turning legs out, knees tracking over toes, tailbone tracks straight down. So now it's exactly the opposite. We're not pushing butt back even a little bit. If you had a wall behind you, you would just be sliding your back down that wall, keeping every part in contact with it. Last one here, we're gonna stay down. We're just gonna take a stretch to one side, staying low through legs, and over to the other side. Keeping tailbone tucked, navel pulling in from the front. You might just see Luna suddenly run through. I don't know. She's been a little bit rowdy the last couple mornings. And last one here. And go ahead, bring it back up. And for you guys who have not met the cats before, Luna's our old lady. She's gonna be 16 this year and she's out of control. Anyway, all right, if you have a band here, this is the point where we're gonna grab it. You can probably guess where it's gonna go, but yeah. It's gonna go here just above the knees. So make sure it's high enough that it's not sliding down to the backs of the knees. That is undesirable. But also you don't want it so high up here that it basically just doesn't even do anything. So I would say about 5 to 6 inches above the knees. I have so much cat hair on me, I just noticed. That's fun too. And we're gonna come up to your bar / chair. All right, this full series with the band, although of course, yeah, you could do it without a band as well. So you're going to be in an inclined position here, navel tucking in, toes tracking toward the back of that chair. I'm gonna start here with my left leg. So left leg, nice simple one to start. You're just gonna touch back and in, back and in. Notice I'm not bringing my torso up and down. Nothing changes there. The weight stays in that standing leg. I'm only moving this one. So that's just the first exercise. We're gonna do intervals, 50 seconds on, 10 seconds off. So in each of those 10-second breaks, I'll show you the next thing that we'll be doing. So starting with that tap back though in 3, 2, 1. Nice, simple one to start with, but don't let it deceive you. That's my advice. Don't let it deceive you. Just because we're starting simple doesn't mean this is going to be an easy workout. And of course, as always here in this position, I'm thinking of tucking my tailbone under, so keeping a flat lower back, and then wrapping my abs around, keeping core engaged, shoulders down and back. Full extension here of the leg. So you should feel that core is engaged here. You've got the chair for a bit of balance, but we're not putting a huge amount of weight into it. Last one here. Next one, you're gonna keep that leg back, and we're just gonna be doing a lift, lift, and down. Got a couple more seconds here in 3, 2, 1. Lift, lift, and down. That back knee, notice, is completely straight. And actually, I'm gonna do this with a flexed foot. You could do flexed or pointed, but choose one. Don't just have a weird floppy foot here. And as you're doing that pulse, check that it's coming from the glute and the hamstring versus the hip and lower back. So if the back is doing a big hollow and the hip is just suddenly releasing, then guess where it's coming from. So just have a think about that. Make sure you're squeezing the glute, keeping navel tucked in. Gets a little bit more serious at this point. Last one here. Next thing, you're gonna stay where we just left off. So you're gonna be lifted here, and we're just gonna curl and extend. So knee stays pressed back. You're not bringing it back in here. Go ahead, lift, inhale, curl, heel to butt, exhale, push. And we will push through the heel on this one just to engage a little bit more of the back of the leg. Hip bones still square to your chair or bar. Staying open through chest. And again, this is what I don't want to see. The knee all the way in here, because that is such a cheat. Such a cheat. I won't stand for it. So keep squaring up the hips, keep tucking tailbone under, keep tucking from the front. It really is a game of keeping all of those little things engaged so that you can get the maximum out of this. What would we not want to get the maximum out of it? Last one here. All right, final thing on this side, we're gonna keep that knee pushed back. We're gonna keep a bend in it, and we're just gonna pulse it back. So nice bend in the knee, little tiny pulses. Again, check that that is coming from the glute rather than the hip or the lower back. And you're probably really gonna be burning out that supporting side here. My supporting side is, well, it is actually just about done. That's the good news. I was gonna say it feels done. That's fine, because it is just about done. So that is all good and well. Like I said, this is the last thing on this side. We are gonna go straight into the other side. We'll have still, that 10-second rest period, but that's it. Keeping a bend in that standing knee. Last couple seconds here. And release. Just 10 seconds here, it's not a long one. And then we're gonna be doing that tap back. So find your starting position here again. Little bit of a bend from the hips. All right leg, back and in. Or whichever leg you did not start with. If you did the opposite, that's fine. See, now this feels good. This actually does feel like a bit of a refresh. Full extension there. And again, I'm not transferring weight back with that leg. So torso is not going back and forth. It stays in the same spot with core engaged. All right, Luna's settled down. I think we're okay. I think we're smooth sailing. I made the mistake because when I was cleaning everything up, pushing everything out of the way to film, one of her little foam balls was out and I tossed it out of the way. Last one here. And so she took that as an invitation to go crazy on the foam ball. That's what happened. All right, leg long here, lift, pulse. Here we go. Lift, lift, and down. Lift, lift, and down. And really, this entire series you could do without the chair or bar, right? Because that's how controlled your weight is. That's how engaged the core is. So just, come back to that. We have the chair here for a bit of balance. It does make it a tiny bit easier. I also find it's nice because it means you can focus a little bit more on the legs and all the many muscle groups actually that make up the legs, versus if you do it with a balance, it does work a little bit more core stability. So that's a different thing. But it can become a little harder to focus on the legs. Just depends what you're after. Last one here. All right, next one we keep it up, curl and extend. We've got a few more seconds here. Find that same position again, bend standing leg, lift, we curl, push. And I would say out of all of them, in some ways this one is the hardest. Probably the final is that bent pulse. But I think this is the hardest one to do correctly often. Because there is just that temptation to let this knee draw back in. That's not what's happening. Nor are we dropping here. So the torso should be in line with that back knee. That should be a straight line. So back knee through the tops of shoulders, through the crown of the head. That should all be following the same line. And my butt and hamstrings are burning. But we carry on. Last one here. And then final thing, as I said, is that bent pulse. So lock and load in 3, 2, 1. Little tiny pulses. Hopefully your band has managed to stay in position. I know it's always a little bit iffy depending on the bands here. Also depending on if you're wearing leggings, the texture, the material of your leggings. If you're wearing very slippery leggings, It can be a little bit tricky with a band or a ball. Need something with a little bit more grip. Mine are kind of, I'd say these are like medium grip. They're grippy enough that we're doing okay with this band. This is a fairly grippy band as well. And the band I'm using is heavy resistance. To be honest, I don't know that like the resistance markers are that meaningful. Last one here. Bring both feet down, toes pointing toward the chair here, about hip distance apart. We're going to lift up the heels, slide down, tailbone tucked, and you're just gonna press out on the band. That's it. That is it. Nice press out. Knees will never go narrower than toes. So don't let them come in toward each other. It is only a press out. Still tucking tailbone under, so back is flat. Tailbone up through crown of the head. Straight vertical line. Whoo-wee. That's a doozy. That is a doozy. These ones always get me, I'll tell you what. But yeah, use a band that feels appropriate for these. You don't want it to be going slack. So I prefer to go a little bit heavier just so it doesn't go slack, because that's really annoying. Last one here, and it sort of defeats the purpose as well. So, all right. Final thing before we get a little break. You're gonna drop back down here, tailbone pushes back, we tuck under. So knees are tracking over the toes, or actually you can even press out against that band a little bit. We might as well get a little bit of resistance of that band. We're just releasing tailbone back, tucking under. Shoulders are not going with it. I'm not moving my entire back. I'm just isolating the very bottom part. And again, if you guys have not done these ones before, they're good all the time, but especially good in pregnancy. Good one for pelvic floor. Seals up the core nice and tight. So yeah, these tucks are plentiful. Last one here, and release. Okay, that's our first big chunk done. We're gonna leave the band on. Sorry, it's true. We're gonna leave the band on, and now we're gonna do essentially the same series, but with a turnout. So we've just done it in parallel. Let me show you what's gonna happen here. Standing leg is gonna start out exactly the same. So I want you to come into that same kind of starting position, but our active leg, boom, we're gonna open out to 90 degrees, okay? So standing stays the same. This one I'm turning out. Torso can be kind of diagonal then. It'll kind of go between the two. First thing is gonna be that tap back. So you can kind of imagine how everything's gonna play out here. It's all gonna be the same series, just with that turnout. You are still keeping weight over this standing leg, so there's a little bit of a tilt toward your chair. We're not going this way. So there's no like up and down there, okay? You know everything that's coming, sort of, most of it. You know most of what's coming. So first thing is gonna be that tap back, find a bend in the standing leg here. We start in 3, 2, 1. So tap back and in. Still, of course, wrapping abs around, staying engaged there. And again, I'm not putting full weight into the chair, all right? I am still using a bit of core stability. So yeah, we're not just floppy. No floppiness here. Knee is aimed out to the side. So as I'm extended, knee is turned out. I'm squeezing corners of the glutes. Just working all of the angles. And yeah, I really like this workout for the core for that reason, because we're wrapping all the way around. Last one here. All right, we keep that leg straight. We'll do a lift with a pulse. Again, you could flex or point here. I'm gonna choose to flex it. Here we go. Lift, lift, and lower. And just for reference there, if you're like, oh, I don't know which one to choose. Generally, I would choose the one that helps you keep the knee a bit straighter here. If that's all the same to you, flexing is going to engage a little bit more of the back of the leg. Pointing is going to engage a little bit more of the front. So you can kind of play with it there, deciding which of those parts you would rather engage a little bit more of. 9 times out of 10, I'm kind of thinking toward the back of the leg, because the front of the leg gets a lot of work, regardless, most of the time. Still thinking of keeping tailbone tucked. One more here. And then we're gonna keep it up and we'll be doing that flexed curl extend. So we will flex on this one because it is a hamstring targeted exercise. Lift it up, curl heel to butt, exhale, push. Curl heel to butt. Again, I'm not letting this leg come back in, nor am I turning the knee back down toward the floor. So check your angle there. As you look at your foot, it should be just horizontal. It should be horizontal. It should be parallel to the floor. So it is fully turned out there. Meanwhile, we're keeping a bend in the standing leg with knee tracking over the toes. And I'm still thinking really, really consciously of pulling navel in, wrapping, really supporting there. So I'm not feeling a huge load in my lower back right now. It feels very much supported. Do one more here. Go ahead, release, even though it might look like I should be feeling a big load in my lower back. I'm not. It's the magic of keeping engaged. Okay, foot lifted here, heel to butt, little bend, pulse. So I'm just targeting this little corner. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Watch that you're not out to the side here. It is tracking back. Knee and ankle are level. And Layla just over here is being so distractingly cute right now. She does this. She does this. I'm trying to concentrate and you're being distractingly cute. She got a new box for Christmas. So she's in her new box and it's got like a little padded bed inside. It's pretty great. She's a happy girl. She's a happy girl right now. Again, supporting, kind of corner that glute is really burning as well. Last one there. Just 10 seconds here before we switch sides. So, foot is tracking in. We're turned out with the other side here. Here we go. And sorry, but I am going to be a little bit back to you just because 10 seconds would have been really fast for me to move my chair around. I guess I could. Yeah, keep going there with that tap out. I'll flip myself around quickly. There we go. There we go. So you're not looking at my butt the whole time. And I'm feeling every part of my thighs and glutes right now. But it feels good. And I know I've said this in past videos, but if you've missed those, really important part to maintain strength in all the time, last one there, but especially in pregnancy, when this kind of pelvic tilt that happens can start to weaken all of that, which you do not want, and that can lead to back pain as well. Legs straight here, lift, lift, and down. Lift, lift, and down. So really important to be training all of that. And barre is a great low impact workout to do in pregnancy. It's probably one of my all-time favorite workouts just all the time. I mean, that's largely why I film it. But I do a variety of things, but barre is definitely one of my go-tos. And I do feel like it's one of the things that's made one of the biggest differences in terms of my muscle and toning. Last one there. Next one is going to be that curl. So keeping the turnout, remember as we extend, foot is horizontal. All right, here we go. So curl, push. I'm gonna take a look back at my foot. Knee is out to the side, foot is horizontal. good to go. If it ends up here with toes turning down, not good to go. Open it up, correct it. Really think of tucking your supporting side underneath you, because it could very well be that it's that side that's giving out. I mean, it's both sides working together, but it could be that's that supporting side giving out and then collapsing, not wanting to support there. So keep it strong, keep pinching it there. Often when glutes and hamstrings are really active, it can feel a little bit like crampy. It's not actually a cramp. It's not a true muscle cramp at all. Last one here, but it can kind of mimic one. So you just kind of have to like mentally get used to that feeling, lean into it, accept it. It's good. It's good for you. All right, bent pulse. Here we go. So last one on this side in this series. And then as with that first series we did, we'll do a couple of exercises with both legs down. So I'm not moving my whole torso here. I'm really, really staying controlled, just tapping this corner. So both the supporting side as well as this active side. Keep it going here a little bit more. Might have heard the door in the background. I'm just gonna let that play out for a few more seconds here. This was a delivery that was supposed to come later today, but you just never know. All right, go ahead, release. All right, it might look like there was a little bit of cut there. That's because there was, because I did have to deal with that delivery, but we're here in our 10-second break. We're gonna come to a first position, pop heels up, knees tracking wide, and we're doing those knee outs here now. So little presses back, keeping tailbone nice and tucked, core engaged. These things happen. They happen quite often, actually, in Spain, where you specify a delivery time, which you can do. There's a notes section to specify that. It's not just me being difficult, and they don't go with that delivery time. So here we are. We're back though. Layla's no longer there. You might notice she does not like when the doorbell rings or there are strange people at the door. She's not a fan. All right, last one here. Final thing in the series is really not too bad. We're gonna do a narrowish second position. So if I show you from the front, which I could just do this from the front, we will. You're dropping down, knees tracking our toes, and we're just gonna pulse it here. So really focus on the turnout. We're not gonna be sitting low here at all, because like I say, it's fairly narrow second position, because we've still got that band on, which is going to make everything just that little bit harder. So we're focused on the turnout, keeping tailbone tucked. I'm gonna turn back to the side just to show you that side angle. So I'm not releasing back here. Again, if I were releasing the hips there, it would probably feel a whole lot easier because the legs would be getting a big old break. They'd be getting a big old break, and hips would be doing a lot of the work, which is often easier, but certainly not ideal in the long term. Last one there, go ahead and release. Okay, that is all of our standing portion finished. You're gonna take off the band, but don't lose it. We're gonna keep it nearby because we are going to use the band a little bit more here down on the floor. But for now, you can get rid of your chair. That we are done with. And go ahead, come down to the mat. So we've been kind of working our way around, right? We started in parallel, working the backs of glutes. We added in a bit of a turnout, getting more of the corners. Now we're gonna open more fully to the side. Hooray. So coming onto the knees here, whichever leg you were lifting first throughout those series, that leg is gonna extend long. So for me, that was my left leg. It might not be the same for you, but that's gonna be extended long. You're gonna drop to one hand here. You can pivot on this supporting leg, so wherever it feels comfortable for the hip, and we're gonna be lifting this leg. Yes, there's more. At least we're not doing this bit with the band. So be thankful for that one small favor. All right, we're starting here with that lift in 3, 2, 1. So just straight lift. This hand is directly underneath the shoulder. I'm staying again supported here, tucking glute under, and hips should be more or less stacked. So again, kneecap here will be pointing out to the side. If you're doing this with a flexed foot, foot again will be horizontal here. Oh boy. And this series is often just the real killer. I can't lie. Why are we finishing it with it? I don't know, because we've got to complete it. We've got to work our way all the way around. Otherwise it would feel incomplete. But not an easy one. And we are changing the times here. So we're doing a full minute of this one. You probably noticed that when the little timer came up on screen and said 60 instead of 50. That was not a mistake. That was intentional. All right, we're gonna hold the next one and we're gonna pulse it here. But the good news is you might have noticed 30. 30 right here for this pulse. So not too bad. And it's not too crazy. We're not doing too many things on each side here. So not too bad at all. We're certainly in the home stretch. Really hard for me to do these ones right now without moving everything, but I'm keeping as controlled as I can. Last one there. All right, bottom knee, you're just gonna bring out away from you a little bit. So we're kind of in this modified plank position. Top leg still extended. Top arm overhead. I'm gonna dip hip to floor, squeeze knee to elbow. That's it. Dip hip, squeeze. Dip hip, squeeze. And I am going for quite a full range there. Hopefully making contact with hip to floor. Staying pressed out of the shoulder. So watch that you're not collapsing into that supporting shoulder. That's gonna make it harder because you'll be doing a collapse and then have to press out, which is actually gonna make it much more shoulder intensive than if we just think of staying pressed out the whole time. All right, one more here, and then we've got one final 30-second exercise on this side, and it's just going to be a hold. Top arm up, float that leg. Oh my God. The outside of my legs and glutes here, just holding this position, it is feeling some type of way. I'm still squeezing navel in from the front, thinking of tucking tailbone. This feels like the longest 30 seconds. Somehow, I'm still pressing that leg up and release. Just 3 minutes, that's it, just 3 minutes on that side, but we do have a second side. So find your way back up. Now you know what's coming. We're so close to being done. Extending opposite leg, hand underneath shoulder. Again, you can pivot on that supporting knee. We start with our straight lift here in 3, 2, 1. Lift and lower. Still keeping navel tucked, still thinking hips stacked. Press it back down to the floor, so don't let it just like be a kick and drop. We never want to use momentum. I would say in any, well, some cardio workouts, yes. Never say never. Some cardio workouts, yes, there will be perhaps a bit of momentum used. But even that is kind of, it's momentum that finishes in control, often. This is very much controlled though. So even if you are kind of using maybe a little bit of momentum to get up, you're gonna prove that you can control it by pressing the leg back down rather than letting it just drop. All right, next one stays lifted. Here's our pulse. Or is this pulse the hardest? No, I'm gonna go with the hold. I'm gonna go with the hold, personally. Knee is straight here, don't let it start to wiggle like this. Keep it straight, that is important for these. That's why I say it, because it is important. I think the easiest one in this series is actually the side plank dip. That's what I'm gonna go with. All right, last one here. Walk that knee out into position, square up the hips to the front, top arm up, We dip, we lift, we tuck knee to elbow. It's just kind of, there is a little bit of a nice side body stretch in here. And personally, I do love a side body stretch. My favorite kind of stretch, I think. Still staying press out of that bottom shoulder. Looking for a full range there, but you're not resting at the bottom. If you're resting at the bottom, then we're releasing into it. Like I said, we're not releasing into it. That's not part of the mission here. Just about there. I've got my eye on the timer. Last one here. Oh God. Arm reaches up, float that leg. And it is a continued press up. I'm not just like, ooh, little weenie lift. It is a continued press up. That is why it burns so much. I can feel parts shaking that, I don't know, just feel very weird. It's just the outside of the legs and glutes. Oh my God, last few seconds here. And go ahead, release. Okay, told you not to get rid of that band because this is the point where it is gonna come back. Same spot as before here, and you're going to come onto hands and knees. So back to lots of stuff here. It's core, it's outer thigh, it's glutes, it's all of it in one single exercise. So hands underneath shoulders, knees under hips, you're gonna tuck toes under, already engaging the core. So I'm not just flopped, collapsed here into lower back and belly. I'm already tucking, scooping upward. You're gonna do a little tiny hover of the knees, about 1 to 2 centimeters. We're gonna press out 4 times on that band, and the knees touch back down, staying engaged that whole time. We're gonna go for a full minute here. In 3, 2, 1. So a little hover, expand across the shoulders, slow presses out, resist back in. So we're going at my pace. There's number 4, knees touch back down. Knees are never gonna go narrower than that starting point. So they're never gonna go inside the toes. It is an outward press. Oh boy. That is a whole lot of core engagement. Transverse abdominis. I think Kat is doing something crazy behind me again. This is chaos. What is going on today? Apparently we're just gonna start the year on a chaotic note. That's what's happening. Last one there, release knees to floor. Stay in this position. We're gonna do an alternating little fire hydrant. So lift one knee out to the side, bring it back in. We switch. The reason we're doing this alternating is because I want you to really focus on keeping the hips square to the floor and not swinging them. So imagine you have a tray of drinks on your back and your mission is to keep it balanced there. So if you're swinging the hips, really opening through the hips, probably gonna spill. And key to that too is that weight should be equal in both arms. And there shouldn't be a huge amount of weight pushing into the arms either, because you're scooping up through the navel, but it should be equal. You're not twisting side to side here. Nice and controlled. Let's do just one more on either side. It'll go a little bit over the time, but hey, that's all right. And done. Okay, final push here. I mean, I couldn't finish out this workout without doing some sort of bridge exercise. I just couldn't. So come carefully down here. It's Leo. We get the whole cat trifecta today. It's been a long time since that's happened. All right, so we're gonna do, still with that band on, feet fairly wide here, knees bent. Again, we want feet wide so there's always that resistance pressing out. Knees never narrower than the feet. So you're gonna start feet distance apart, and we're gonna be doing a press out at some point, just so you know. But we're gonna start here with a normal bridge lift. I'm enjoying doing that tilt first. So it's a little tilt where I'm tucking tailbone under and then lift, which ensures that I'm lifting from the glutes rather than the back. I would advise doing that, especially if you're pregnant. We've got a full minute here, starting in 3, 2, 1. So, little tilt, engages core, engages glutes, lift, bring it down. So, pelvic tilt, lift, keeping that energy in the glutes. It really does help protect the lower back as well. So I notice when I do that little tilt first, I don't really feel much of the lower back. It is a posterior chain exercise, so to some degree, yes, it is also going to work the lower back a little bit, but we want the glutes to be in the driver's seat here. So let them really power this. Check in, the knees are staying wide here, so you should feel that you're having to already press out a bit on that band. Navel is drawing in. Last one here, and then you're gonna stay up and we're just gonna press knees out and out. So just little tiny controlled presses out. Hips are staying level, not going up and down. And again, we're never going narrower than the feet with the knees. Think long line of energy reaching out through the kneecaps, staying flat across the fronts of the hips, and nice and controlled here. So again, we're just squeezing outside of the glutes. They've had a lot of work. They've had a lot of work today, but we're just finishing them up here. This is our final exercise. After this, we're going to stretch. Hallelujah. Yay. So just, hold on for that. See the thing through. Finish it out strong. We've only got a few more seconds here anyway. Last one there. Release down. Whew. Okay. Go ahead, roll over onto one side. Press back up to seated. We can get rid of the band. We're actually done with the band now. I have so much cat hair on my leggings. How did that happen? I mean, if you've been watching, you may have seen 3 different cats. So that's probably how. All right, we're gonna stack a leg here. So just stack one leg on top of the other. If there's a bit of a gap there, that's okay. If it'll close up, you can kind of rock into it. Have a little wiggle around there. So you're gonna feel that stretch to the outside of the leg that is stacked on top. But yeah, three cats, all long-haired. It's somewhat unavoidable that I'm gonna have cat hair all over myself. And also these are just a color that shows it a bit more. So yeah, I feel like it is actually gonna show up, but oh well. Oh wow. So just releasing deep breaths here. Now that leg that's stacked on top, you're just gonna extend out to the side here. So it's nice and wide, and we'll take a side body stretch going over it. Like I said, love a good side body stretch. I'm flexing that foot, pulling toes in toward me, so I'm really getting the hamstring there as well. Go ahead, bring it up. And then you're just gonna shift. So you're squaring up your hips now over that leg, going straight on, and just press forward into it. Up to you how much you wanna press forward there. The important thing is keeping the back flat. So rather than doing a big sad round over it, it's really lengthening through the torso, reaching forward and over with the chest, pulling shoulders down. That's the key here. And you could use like a strap or something. You could reach for the toes. Yeah, you got options there. And go ahead, sit up. We'll just switch out the legs there. So stacking the opposite leg on top. I always think these ones feel really good for my hips. Having a little, again, wiggle around there. Got a bit of shoulder there at the end too. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. And then extend that leg out to the side here first. We're gonna do a nice big side body stretch, up and over. So this one we're not rotating toward the leg. Nice deep breaths into the side body. And bring it back up. Rotate, squaring the hips up over that leg. And then again, just tilting forward here. So wherever you want to go with it, wherever it feels good, wherever you're feeling that hamstring stretch, keeping a flat back. And sit up. And then finally here, let's just take soles of feet together. Knees open wide. I love this stretch all the time, just all the time. You can stay nice and tall there, or you can tilt forward into it. You could use the elbows to sort of press the legs a bit wider. Just have a little play around, see what feels good. And then actually I lied. Let's do one final stretch here. One final stretch. Let's open both legs, wide straddle position here. And then again, have a little play around with it. You can just experiment with tilting side to side. You could just stay straight in the center. You could reach forward. Whatever you are feeling. These stretches should feel good. And then from there, go ahead, bring the legs back in. That is us done. That was a wild ride. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button down below so I know that you want to see more of these types of bar workouts, and especially if you like using a prop like the booty band, let me know. You can also, or I'd love it if you would also hit that subscribe button to come back for more. We're uploading once a week now, and like I said, everything for the foreseeable future is going to be pregnancy friendly. Hooray! Still good if you are not pregnant too. It is very much just like a very classic bar vibe coming your way. And let me know down below in the comment section what sort of workouts you would like to see more of. So if you like these kinds of standing bar workouts, more of the mat bar, or even some mat Pilates, let me know. And I will see you guys soon. Bye!